Good morning and welcome to the Internet of Insurance. We're here at the M by Montcalm in Shoreditch, and I'm delighted to be joined this morning by Craig Beattie from Celent. Craig, really good to see you.
Good to see you, happy to be here.
Now, you've been in the insurance industry for some time, and I'm really keen to get your sense of how IoT is being used by insurers, obviously not traditionally perhaps seen as tech innovators, but what's your take at the moment on IoT in insurance?
At the moment it's still at the point of experimentation, actually. There are some propositions out there. The UK is quite inundated with IoT propositions, actually. So we've got in-car telematics, so really about trying to provide some kind of insurance service to young drivers and really help them to become better drivers. And of course Vitality is available here, which is really about engaging with people about their health in a different way. Some of those innovations have come from other territories, to be honest. I think Italy is a little ahead in terms of car telematics. Vitality, of course, coming from South Africa. And some of the connected home, Internet of Things propositions around that are really being pioneered in some other countries as well, so mainland Europe and North America. To be honest, as you look across all of these things, it's really kind of an experiment, actually. It's really asking the question, are customers prepared to share their data to have a different kind of engagement with the insurance industry? Are they really looking for a different kind of product? And at the moment, I think the jury's out. There are a lot of people out there who are still quite happy with the classic insurance policies, the annual cover at a reasonable price that doesn't add any of these things. But as people get more used to internet-connected devices like cars, like homes, like smart meters, even wearables like watches, and you can get connected vests and things like that, and pets. As people get more attuned to this, they'll start asking the insurance industry questions. So it's good to see the industry doing these experiments, asking these questions. I think some of the answers are going to change over time, actually, as well, as people get more comfortable with this and expect different things from the industry.
And do you think in terms of the benefits that insurers can see, I guess from an insurer point of view, they obviously want to find out their return on investment or generating new revenue streams. It's interesting the kind of customer piece as well. I guess most industries would say actually engaging with your customers is a positive thing, when perhaps with insurers, maybe they don't want to be engaging with customers because obviously if you have that conversation, perhaps that could generate I might start thinking about if my policy is the right policy for me. They've not naturally had that good relationship with customers, so are they ready for this era where IoT brings them closer to the customer? Do you think they're ready for that kind of that time?
Well, this is part of the challenge, I think. Part of the there's almost a challenge to the very basis of insurance at the moment, in fact. Insurers are under pressure to reduce costs. They need to underwrite effectively. Historically, you could underwrite not quite so well, but make the money back on the investing the premiums. That's not possible right now. So there's a real challenge here in terms of getting the operations right, streaming down your cost base, getting something in that's at the right price for the customer, which is at odds with increasing touch points with the customer, buying equipment to give to the customer so that they can be connected, and investing in this kind of innovation. So we've got this real challenge at the moment, actually. If you look at the UK insurance industry, the motor insurance industry particularly, adult drivers who've been driving for a while, got some good no claims bonus, have got a pretty good deal, actually, in terms of car insurance. And certainly a deal that wouldn't foot spending another £100 or £50 on a device and connectivity for the device over the course of the policy. So there's some real challenges here. There's some great opportunities, absolutely. If you can find the right price point, the right proposition to engage with a customer. I've talked to insurers and I've talked to brokers as well, so they're getting innovation in the distribution area as well as in terms of the carriers of the risk. And they're finding that rather than touching the customer, rather than engaging with the customer, shall we say, maybe twice a year, a quote and kind of then reinsurance and then maybe a claim every every so often. People are looking at their in-car telematics app to get the feedback a couple of times a week. I mean, that's unheard of in the insurance industry. And some retailers would dream of that kind of engagement. How do you monetize that in the insurance industry? How do you really add value to the insurance customer? How do you do that in a way that doesn't radically increase the cost base? I think these are challenges, and what we're finding is the people who are at the conference today and yesterday, the people who are investing in this are at the forefront of doing some of that experimentation, actually, in terms of trying to understand what some of the customers want, how they engage with it.
So we talked externally about communicating with a customer and maintaining or improving that relationship. Looking at the business and business process and business models, where are insurers with that? 'Cause I can imagine IoT, certainly from a process point of view and the pricing point of view in particular, could really change the game. And also with business models itself, are insurers ready for that? Obviously historically it's a very risk-averse industry with a lot of people that have been in the industry for a very long time. So are they ready for that kind of cultural shift as well? How do you see the kind of business adapting over time for IoT?
That's an interesting one. With any large organisation, it's difficult to engage multiple groups. So you tend to find innovation happens in a small area. We can come back to the startups, but if you look at the incumbent insurers who are quite large, the underwriting guys have got a very different discipline to actuarial, again, different to claims, different to marketing, different to even further down the supply chain and managing suppliers and things like that. But there's opportunities across all of those areas once you start getting the data in. So I've had insurers ringing me up and saying, should I be buying the GPS data from the device? So, somebody else is managing that and I'm paying per data item. And then you start talking about the fraud opportunities in terms of identifying fraud or even countering false claims against your customers, which is a great customer story, right? I mean, if you can repudiate a claim at the point when it's made, because you can say the customer's car wasn't there, actually. Now, if you think about it, when you're driving around and you get a letter through from your insurer saying there's been a claim made against you, you hit this car at this junction, how do you prove that your car wasn't there? How do you demonstrate that? And actually, if the insurer has the data and can repudiate that on your behalf right there and then, that's a great sort of customer story, actually. So there's opportunities like this for doing good on behalf of the customer, being there as the customer's agent, finding the car when they lose it in the mall car park and that sort of thing. There are lots of very interesting opportunities for helping the customer, but there's still this challenge of, if you're in a large organisation, engaging everyone, informing them about the data, looking at the opportunities, and of course there's a great challenge here in terms of who's paying for this, actually. Customers have been educated in most markets that they don't pay more for having these devices, they pay less. So there's a real tension here.
Yeah. Craig, really appreciate your time today. I hope your talk goes well, and I'm sure I'll see you around.
Excellent. Thank you very much.